Hey, I'm Kristani. I'm a junior, but next semester I'll be a senior. Um, if I make any mistakes, I'm gonna just go ahead and say that this is the first and only time I'm gonna record this. Okay, so, can I start like this? The discussion post, I love the opinions. Everybody else had a different opinion. They were fun. Okay, but seriously, throughout the course and every lesson we've learned, I've learned that many of us do not share the same backgrounds, and all of us have a different outlook on life. Some people might like the police, some of us might not. I don't. There are many environmental differences and cultural backgrounds between us, and throughout every discussion, you figure that out. Like some lectures, you'll be completely identical to somebody, and then the next lecture is like, I didn't go through that. Like struggle meals. I wasn't one that had struggle meals, but I definitely didn't know that I was a little poor. I was a little poor. Okay. But another example is some of us have a strong social support system. Like you could just have one simple big person that is, your big support system. It doesn't matter how many people you have. And some people just have a social network or something. That could be a big social media star. Yeah, and what am I trying to say? They could be a big social media star. They could have all the DMs, all the hard eyes, and support coming in. But outside of the cameras, then they're lonely. They just have cyber support. You know, they're lonely and isolated outside of that. And I don't know how that feels at all. Um, do you know what I learned? That I was really surprised that I am not wrong for equating race to health. Because apparently that's true. Before this class, I like to say that black people were more likely to be diagnosed with random things. And I didn't know that the cancer rate was so high for African Americans, but I found that out in this class. Yeah. That's the one thing that I never equated back to race because I thought that white people got diagnosed more. And apparently, black people die more. Because I know at one point in about 2016, the rate was higher for white people to get diagnosed with cancer, like the incidence rate. And black people were, under that. But their death rate was way higher. I was confusion. And diabetes is really popular in minority groups. I never believed that Hispanics would be like likely to get diabetes as much as they do, but apparently their children are the most obese as well. You learn something new every day, and I learned that in health, wellness, and society. hmm True story. Um, but outside of race, other environmental factors factor in. But I was just glad that race played a role as well, because I figured out that I was right. I was really right. Um, Black people get the late. They're always late for diagnosis as well. I know that my dad was late getting diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis because he would just put it off. It's something in our community specifically. We don't. Our men do not like to go to doctors, especially our women. They'll be like, "Okay, I'll go ahead and go." But men, you really have to drag them. They will not go by themselves. And yeah, it's tragic. Um, I also learned, unfortunately, black women are more likely to have miscarriages and die during childbirth. This is the most disturbing thing that I found out throughout the class. Um, that's something that I take to heart very strongly because I had a sibling who was a full term baby, but he randomly just died when he was born. Like, that doesn't happen. My mom was confused. She technically died for about 17 minutes. Like, they couldn't revive her. And the baby officially died. I don't know. Had they kept working on him, he could have lived. I'm not sure. But this is a circumstance that happens way too often. And it made me really uncomfortable. But furthermore, mm, that's another story for another time. In the future, I want to be a physical therapist. And since I know that non minority communities have the easier access and better quality health care, I don't want anything to do with that arena. Instead, I'd rather build my own practice from the ground up and be willing to negotiate affordable prices for these urban minority communities. And, a lot of minorities, we don't have insurance. I personally do not. I did, but I don't anymore, so I don't. And it wouldn't even matter anyways because minorities, I mean, physical therapists, they don't take insurance. That is an out of pocket fee and it is very expensive. And I don't want to be that therapist that is overbearingly overpriced. I want to be non for profit. I I'm honestly contemplating if I just work at a regular office and then have my own thing outside of that as well for these communities because that's my home. Like, I'm a minority. I'm from an urban area, Southwest Atlanta. So I want to get back to my people without overpricing them or just like my hair is in my eye. That, yeah, I don't want to be that type of person. I don't want a parent to have to determine whether they're going to feed their kids or pay this bill. Doesn't make sense. So that's something that I want to do. I want to, but I don't want to waste my investment into them. I want to know why they feel a need to change. I want them to have a counseling before and during their process of everything because I might want to help you, but I need you to help yourself at the same time, and that's just that on that. But I just want to help the patient's agenda. Thank you. Y'all have a good Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa or whatever y'all do. Thank you.